It's a cold one in upstate New York today. Woodstock is known throughout the world for its legendary music festivals that once brought thousands here to the beautiful rolling hills at the foot of the Catskill Mountains. The crowds and stages may be gone, but the soul of Woodstock remains in its charming diners, shops, and yes, even a small historic golf course. The Emerson Resort here in Woodstock may be only a short 2-hour drive from New York City, but staying here feels like a world away from the New York hustle.
So the head professional today at Woodstock, he played in the 23 PGA Championship. He's got game.
Renovated from its original farmhouse structure, the Emerson Resort manages to retain all of the charm of its humble roots. The vegetable gardens and beehives put Emerson's off-grid living on full display and serve as a stark contrast to the normally fast-paced lives of the resort's Manhattan guests. Similarly, the world-class spa and restaurant here create the perfect way to unwind before or after a round of golf. Oh, and it's also home to the world's largest kaleidoscope, which might just be the most Woodstock thing we've ever seen. But of course, our favorite thing about Emerson Resort is that staying here gives you access to play the historic Woodstock Golf Club, a private, members-only 9-hole course that hosts the Emerson Resort and Spa Woodstock Golf Club Open, which is reportedly the longest-running U.S. golf tournament held at the same course and open to both amateurs and professionals. All right, just like when we played Wiltwick yesterday, we're gonna have tight tee shots and small greens today.
Great combination.
Makes it tough, we like a challenge. Fat, not gonna get there. I'll just need a couple holes to warm up. Good thing we're playing 9, I'll be warmed up by 7.
Yeah, that's all.
From here you can start to get a peek at some of the views of the Catskill Mountains.
I'm nervous of.
It's pretty nice, and I'll tell you what, in a couple of weeks, come fall, that's all gonna be all types of fall colors when the foliage kind of peaks. It's probably a real nice time to play up here. Woo, woo, downhill, hey quick.
She's quick, huh? Look at it.
Yeah,
It's gonna go
so we're learning, stay below the hole here, right? Stay below the hole.
Wow.
Stay below it. Woodstock Golf Club is a bit of a hidden gem. It's a 9-hole, 2,800-yard par 35 with excellent playing conditions, lightning fast but postage stamp size greens, and stunning views of the mountainside. In its near 100-year history, the course has unsurprisingly been home to many notable members from Woodstock's artist community, including painters, illustrators, and even Pulitzer Prize winners.
Well, the Woodstock Open, it just had their 88th tournament this past year. It's the longest, supposedly according to the USGA, the oldest tournament at one consecutive site, open to professionals and amateurs. And they've had players like Gene Sarazen have played here in the tournament, and Doug Ford, both Masters champions. So it's got a lot of history to it. In 2022, New York Open state champion Mike Miller won it, and this year Nick Diallo won it with a 63. He fired it in the morning round. So the kind of fun thing that we do, we try to do something different each year with the tournament, with the Emerson Resort and Spa Woodstock Open. And we a few years ago we honored the winner with a robe, sort of like the green jacket at Augusta National. Well, it's sponsored by the Emerson Resort and Spa, so with relaxing kind of atmosphere, Woodstock, we thought we'd give it a robe, and Golf Digest picked up on it, and it was kind of cool.
Good par, man.
Thanks.
Thanks.
The 5th hole is the one and only par 5 on this relatively short course, and although it's not particularly long, playing at just about 450 yards, the tiny green is heavily protected by water in front and bunkers on the left, right, and short, which makes it a particularly risky play if you try to attack the green with your second shot. If you loop the course twice, you get a second shot at this par 5 when it plays through again as the 14th hole on the back 9. Oh! All right, so we step up to the 6th hole, and this is probably the prettiest of the views as far as tee boxes go. You see the Catskill Mountains right there down the chute, and it's a short par 4, 336 yards. If you play a fade with your driver, you can really get after it. I definitely don't work the ball that way, so I'm gonna take a little less club and just try to get on that left side of the fairway for a look into it. But this is one that you can definitely, if you play that fade, you can hit driver and get yourself nice and close to that green. But it is a tight tee shot, but definitely got to enjoy the views a bit here. Well, what a difference a foot makes.
Yeah.
Look at that. That rough is tough.
Where the rough meets the fairway.
I wish I was right there.
I know.
Muscled it out. Just put that whole breakfast burrito from the diner this morning. I put that whole thing behind
you
that
did.
one. You know,
You had to. You
the
had to get out of that rough.
potatoes, everything.
Even that salsa verde.
The salsa verde's in there. The bacon's
Everything's
in there.
in there.
The cheese, it's all in that shot. Wow, that is a good play. That is a good play right there.
There he is, Mr. Conservative. Nice draw.
Where I want to be.
That's primo.
Hybrid's starting to work now.
There you go.
A little late in the round. So I'm only half kidding about the burrito. We actually did find a really cool little diner. In fact, it supposedly, looked it up, it's like one of the 20 best diners in the country, and they shoot a bunch of movies there. It actually looked like a movie set.
Yeah, what was the one they're shooting now? The Severance or something on Netflix?
Yeah, Apple
TV, right.
Anyway, cool little spot, and that's what you get up here. A lot of cool little spots. If you drive through the town of Woodstock, there's all these nice shops and things like that. So it's one of those cool things. Like, let's say you're coming up here, you know, go away for the weekend with the wife. You could stay at the Emerson. They got the spa there, really nice. As Mike was saying, quiet, tranquil. You can get out here, play some golf, and then you can just make a whole weekend out of it, spend some time in the shops and the restaurants. So it is a cool vibe up here. I mean, stating the obvious, but it's a cool vibe up here in Woodstock. All right, so this 8th hole here, we're not talking about a long one at all, par 4. It's about 270 yards, but there's this massive rock formation that comes in. If you get anywhere near that, you're gonna put up a big number. So you either gotta make sure you carry it or go short of it, and then just play it, 2 shots to your green in regulation. So decisions to be made. This is definitely a cool hole though, because you gotta imagine 8th hole, playing the tournament here. If it's tight, there's some very big decisions to be made of whether guys go for it or not. I mean, that's as far back as the tees go, so it's not like they're tipping it out any further. I'm sure there's a lot of pros who can get it on this green. It's gotta be an interesting one watching that. I'm just not hitting them hard enough, come on.
All right, closing hole here, 9. It's a par 3. We don't see too many closing holes that are par 3, so it's unique. This is a long one. It's about 193 yards to the middle from where I'm standing. And also, when you make the loop and play the 9 again as the back 9, you can see how much further up. I mean, Nick, what would you say, 100 yards? 80 yards up? 130, so it's 130 yards, so you're probably shaving off 60 yards on the back 9 on this hole. So you get different looks out here when you play the front and the back, even though it's just 9 holes. It's pretty cool.
How cool is this little bridge over the creek? One golf cart at a time, maximum. You guys know I like a good golf bridge. Ooh, it's got some spring to it too. Look at that.
I know, try driving a cart over it.
This one's fun.
I gotta say, it's pretty cool to play golf in such a nostalgic, town like Woodstock, where so much music and storylines have happened. I'm a huge musician, huge guitar guy. Grew up loving, sounds like Jimi Hendrix and, you name it. I even bought a white Fender Stratocaster just to be like Jimi Hendrix. And, I believe it was was it Woodstock where he lit his guitar on fire on stage? I believe so. Just a lot of cool stuff. We're gonna drive through the town on the way home and just see, what this town has to offer. Maybe we'll grab a bite to eat, but it's cool. Like I said before, it's really cool to finally come up to places that you've heard about, you've known about. They're not that far from you, but you've just never gotten there. And that's what golf does. It brings you to places like this. So really cool to be up here. Super thankful to our host, Nick. This was awesome. This was, a little bit of a hidden gem.